Okay, so the unit circle is on a coordinate plane. So you have your x-axis and your y-axis. You know that the radius of the circle is 1, 1, 1, 1. That means that this point is 1, 0. This point is 0, 1, negative 1, 0, 0, negative 1. Let's say that we're going to start at 0 here. This is going to be pi over 2, because it's half. This is going to be pi, because it's whole. So this is going to be 3 pi over 2. And this is going to be 2 pi. Now we need to figure out what all this stuff is in the middle. So you know that you have, I'm going to go by sixths and by fourths. I'm going to start off with fourths because that is the easiest. You have pi over 4. Then you have pi over 2, which is 1/2. Now you have 3 pi over 4. Then you have pi. So 5 pi over 4. 6 pi over 4. Now you have 7 pi over 4. Now for the more difficult. Pi over 6. Two pi over 6, which is equivalent to pi over 3, right? So you have 2 pi over 6, right? Reduce it. What goes into 2? Or 2 goes into 6 how many times? 3 times. So we get pi over 3. That's how I got that. So 1 6, 2 6, 3 6. 3 pi over 6, pi over 2. 4 6, which is also equal to 2 pi over 3. 5 6, which is just 5 over 5 pi over 6. 6 over 6, pi, just pi. 7 pi over 6, alright. 8 pi over 6, which can be reduced to 4 pi over 3. 9 pi over 6, which can be reduced to 3 pi over 2. 10 pi over 6, which can be reduced to 5 pi, it's a crappy 5, over 3. And finally, 11 pi over 6. Alright, so next we know from our trig functions and from learning that all of our trig functions, all of them are positive in here. Just sine is positive in the second quadrant. Sorry, this is the first quadrant, this is the second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. All, and then you got sine, tangent is the only one positive here, and then cosine. Alright. So now if you know the first quadrant, if you know their cosine, sine, and tangent, you'll know their points. Alright. We know this is root 3 over 2, comma, 1 over 2, with a tangent of 1 over root 3. We know this one is 1 over root 2, comma, 1 over root 2 with the tangent of 1. That can also be written as root 2 over 2 in the rationalized form. Right here, this is just these two, switched. Just like 6, 3, it makes sense to switch these. So now you have 1/2 comma root 3 over 2 with the opposite of this tangent, which would be root 3. So the way I like to do it is all the ones with 6 underneath are going to have these same points. All it's going to change is the positive and negatives based on which trig functions are positive in which quadrant. So, we'll bring this over here. Root 3 over 2, comma 1, 2, 1 over 2, and 1 over root 3. Only sign is positive here. Remember that we go in alphabetical order, so cosine over sine. So sine gets to be positive. That means we give, I'll do in red so it's a little obvious. This guy a little negative, this guy a little negative. Let's go down here, because it's the same one right here. Root 3 over 2, 1 over 2, with the tangent of 1 over root 3. Tan is the only positive function right here. This one's going to stay positive. We're going to negate this one and negate that one. Alright, and back on over here. Same thing that you see me right now 4 times. Root 3 over 2, 1 over 2, comma, 1 over root 3. Only function that is positive in this quadrant, cosine. That's going to be this buddy right here. So this one's going to be negative, this one's going to be negative. It's going to follow the same pattern of the positives and the negatives for each point on here. So, in the first quadrant, all of them should be positive. Second quadrant, just the sign should be positive. Third quadrant, just the tangent should be positive. Fourth quadrant, just the cosine should be positive. So, I'm going to finish out the rest of this unit circle. We bring the 1 over root 2 over here, comma 1 over root 2 over here, parenthesis, parenthesis, you bring the 1 over as well, 1. That's now a negative 1, and this is a negative 1 over root 2. Now I can bring this one over here, so I got 1 over 2, comma root 3 over 2, and the tangent is root 3. That's now minus, and that's now minus. Only these ones remain positive, as they are sine. 1 is our tangent, 1 over root 2, comma 1 over root 2, parenthesis. Only one that's positive over here, tangent. Tangent will remain positive. Other two will become negative. Should have done that in this color up here for consistency. Alrighty then. Then you got 1/2, comma, root 3 over 2 with a tangent of root 3. We know this is going to stay positive, so we can negate this guy and this guy. Alright, and over into the fourth quadrant, final stretch. We're getting there. 1 over root 2, comma, 1 over root 2 with tangent of 1. Only cosine is positive, so we negate the sine and tangent. Awesome! Alright, so now some 5 pi over 3. We know it's going to be 1 over 2, comma, root 3 over 2. And it's going to be root 3. Only cosine is going to be positive. So I can negate these two. And that is how you do unit circle. Remember, cosine, sine, tangent goes in that order. Alright, now we also have 6 trig